Welcome to This Explainer. It's so great to have you here. So, picture this. It's late at night, the house is completely quiet, all the crazy distractions of the day are finally gone, and you're just sitting there, thinking about your life. You get this sudden, massive surge of motivation, right? And you promise yourself, tomorrow, everything changes. I am going to rebuild myself. But then, well, tomorrow actually rolls around, and somehow, literally nothing changes. In this explainer, we're going to dive into some incredibly fascinating insights on human behavior to uncover a real blueprint for internal transformation. Let's unpack exactly why we so often fail to execute our own life plans, and way more importantly, how we can finally actually break that cycle. Okay, let's dive right into this. Why do our grand night plans become the exact same old morning habits? It's an experience I think almost every single one of us can relate to. You make these sweeping plans at midnight. You set the alarm for 5 a.m. You vow to work harder. You swear you'll put the phone down and really chase those dreams. But then morning hits, and bam, you fall back into the exact same routine. The alarm goes off, and you just smash the snooze button. So why does this keep happening? Are our willpower muscles just somehow broken? Or are we just choosing the completely wrong approach to change?
Well, a lot of this frustration actually comes down to the illusion of a fresh start. We have this tendency to mistakenly believe that a new month, a new year, or going out and buying a brand new expensive diary is somehow going to miraculously fix our lives. We write down these ambitious new goals, and for a second, we feel like a completely brand new person. Yet, within just a few days, we slip right back into those old, super familiar routines. The hard truth here? The goals aren't the issue. The person trying to achieve them is. If you don't change the person, that shiny new diary isn't going to do a thing.
And this brilliantly illustrates the core of the problem. It's all about where we focus our energy. We spend so much of our time desperately trying to change our external circumstances. We think, oh, if I just had a different job or more free time or lived in a better city, I'd totally be successful. But actually, scratch that. Real, lasting change doesn't come from just rearranging the furniture in your life. It comes from a really profound shift in your internal mindset. Because as long as you only try to change your circumstances, life is just going to keep bringing you back to the exact same starting line. That's because our absolute biggest barriers aren't physical at all. They're mental. Think about the mind's invisible walls. I'm talking about those internal borders and that creeping self-doubt that constantly whispers to you, leave it, you can't do it, or it's way too late, you're too old. Our own mind literally acts as the ultimate gatekeeper, holding us back way before our external circumstances even get a chance to test us. The real defeat doesn't happen out there in the world. It happens quietly, right inside our own heads. Just let the weight of this question sink in for a second. If your life looks exactly the same in 1 year, or even 5 years, are you going to be happy? If your immediate answer is no, then the time to initiate change isn't next Monday, and it definitely isn't next month. The realization of just how incredibly fast time passes and that deep pain of looking back with regret, that should be your ultimate wake-up call. Ultimately, life gives us a choice between two paths. And here's the thing, we all have to suffer from one of two pains. It's guaranteed. You either choose the pain of discipline, which is just temporary hard work and the daily discomfort of pushing yourself, or you choose the pain of regret, which is the lifelong burden of unfulfilled potential, realizing you never truly used your full capacity. That is a much heavier, far more agonizing weight to carry around than just putting in the daily effort required to build a better life. But of course, we avoid that temporary pain by falling into this highly relatable timeline, the procrastination trap. Notice how incredibly innocent it starts. On day 1, you say, you know what, I'm just too tired today, I'll start tomorrow. Then by week 1, it's, okay, I'll definitely begin next Monday. By month 1, you're waiting for next month's fresh start. And then suddenly year 1 rolls around, you're looking in the mirror and you're forced to ask yourself, what did I actually change? The illusion of tomorrow quietly steals entire years of our lives. And when you fall into that trap, you realize a really hard truth. The biggest defeat is not failing, but realizing you never used your full potential. Staying safe in your comfort zone might feel good right now, but it is the truest form of failure. Because trying and stumbling, that means you are at least in the arena. You're learning, you're growing. But never stepping into the arena at all just because you're scared, that is the kind of defeat that slowly breaks a person from the inside. Let's move to section 1 and see how this builds. Breaking the cycle and the farmer metaphor. Think about it like this. A farmer doesn't quit farming forever just because they had one bad season,
right? If a huge storm rolls in and ruins the crops, they don't just throw their hands up and walk away from the field for the rest of their life. No, they wait, they learn from that harsh season, and when the time is exactly right, they replant the seeds with brand new hope. So why on earth should your life be any different? Just because you've completely failed at sticking to your goals before doesn't mean you should just quit trying to rebuild yourself entirely. To farm your own life successfully, you really need to apply these principles for rebuilding your mindset. First off, don't hate your past. It's the exact thing that brought you to this realization right now. Learn from those previous mistakes. And most importantly, do not let your past failures define your future attempts. True strength isn't about never getting hurt or never falling flat on your face. It's about having the sheer courage to try a totally different approach and keeping that hope alive even after you've broken down, instead of dragging the heavy baggage of your past mistakes into every single new opportunity.
Section 2, the solution and the power of microhabits.
So, the crucial point here is understanding the stark difference between myth and reality. The total myth of success is that it's this sudden, overnight miracle accompanied by loud applause and instant fame. But the reality? It is much, much less glamorous. Real success is forged in the quiet, completely unseen days of consistent hard work. It happens when literally nobody is watching you, when you are dead tired, but you honor your commitment anyway. Your life isn't changed by one single grand gesture. It is changed by small, completely unglamorous daily actions.
And that brings us to a very specific, incredibly important number, 30. Out of the 1,440 minutes you are gifted every single day, can you dedicate just 30 minutes strictly to yourself? Not to your boss, not to your emails, not to endless doom scrolling on social media, just 30 uninterrupted minutes for your own internal transformation.
So, what can you actually do with that time? Well, you can use it to learn a new skill, read a really good book that challenges how you see the world, or just quietly plan out your next step. Or, honestly, you can simply use it to rebuild your lost confidence. I know so many people feel totally overwhelmed by bills and family responsibilities, and they end up feeling like taking time for their own dreams is somehow selfish. But let me be clear, dedicating this time to yourself is absolutely not selfish. It is completely necessary to regain your lost identity and build up the energy you need to actually support everyone else in your life. To break down the super overwhelming idea of changing your entire life, let's look at these 3 simple, immediate steps you can take today. Step 1, stop waiting for the perfect time. Let me tell you a secret. The perfect time does not exist. Step 2, take full accountability. Stop blaming the economy or your boss or how you were raised. Look right in the mirror and own your story. And step 3, make one small, honest decision that you can actually stick to. Action cures fear. Just one tiny decision today is more than enough to get that momentum going. It's kind of fascinating to look at where we actually spend our mental resources every day. We so often waste immense energy worrying about other people's success, stressing over what they think of us, or comparing our messy behind the scenes to their perfect highlight reel. Mature thinking and truly focused growth means accepting that we just cannot control everything around us, but we can absolutely control our own reactions, our own priorities, and exactly where we choose to spend our daily energy. Which brings us to a pretty sobering reality check. The biggest loss in life isn't money, it's time. Money can be earned again, time cannot. It is so dangerously easy to just focus on surviving, paying the bills, and literally just passing the days until the weekend finally arrives. But when you only pass the days, you aren't building a life. Every single evening, you really have to stop and ask yourself, did my actions today bring me even an inch closer to the future I actually want? So I want to turn it over to you for a second and invite you to truly reflect on this question. What is your absolute biggest obstacle right now? Is it a deep-seated fear of failure or worrying about what people might say? Is it the heavy anchor of procrastination, constantly whispering, "We'll do it tomorrow"? Or is it a fundamental lack of confidence, just quietly willing those invisible walls into existence? Acknowledging the actual hurdle right in front of you is the very first vital step to jumping right over it. I really want to leave you with one final, incredibly powerful thought. If you got a chance to completely restart your life today, would you make the exact same decisions? If the answer is no, then please remember this. Life actually gives you a chance to restart every single morning. Your past doesn't write your future. Your next small, honest decision does. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, keep pushing, and go start rebuilding yourself today.